That's a name.
You need to really get off my balls, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass.
Also, why was Michelangelo so stinky? Ew.
I said egg on my dick. I said it again.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 270 of the All Get Here podcast. I'll be your host today, Patrick. And joining me today are my three carpooling co-hosts.
Not so nice anymore, Colt, because 69's over. No more 69.
No more 69.
At least until we get to 369.
Yeah. And then 469.
You know, what was a good bit that last week, episode 269 came out on AYCH, and the 69th episode of Cajun Greatness came out the same week.
Oh, we're double 69ing.
Nice.
Just a bunch of people 69ing in your ears.
Yeah, just a bunch of dudes 69ing.
Yep.
What was that? I don't even know if that got picked up.
Probably not.
Doesn't it just made just some weird noise?
Yeah, I'm Wenzel. Hey.
And I'm hungover as shit.
Yeah.
It's JoJo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we're just hanging out, shooting the breeze, because after a couple of weeks of independent projects, we'll say, the core four is back together, and we're just gonna talk about what we've been up to, and in some very tame and chaste ways, and some a little more divergent and diluted ways as well.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen y'all face to face. At least JoJo and Pat.
Well, I would say me too, because we haven't really seen each other face to face for like.
Ah, shit, since Top Gun, yeah.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
Shit, dude, it's been a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to catch up, because it sounds funny to say, but when Wenzel came over to the house, maybe last week, the week before, I were just like, we're so used to being in person every single week, and like when we just take even 1 week off, it feels weird.
It's so bizarre.
Because he stayed over for a good couple hours just to catch up. And
Yeah.
it's like, this is nice. It's nice just to hang out.
And when we were talking, and I was like, because today Colt is here. I was like, Colt wasn't there. That's weird. To like all this stuff that we talked about, it's like, shit, I guess Colt would be catching up right now to everything.
Yeah, I don't know shit. Never have, never will.
Yeah. Every time Colt records, he just had his eyes closed. Like, I've never seen you guys until now.
Yep. Are you surprised?
I don't know where I am.
But because Colt kept his eyes closed for so long, he doesn't know what things are. So, like, it doesn't register him that there are things in front of him. So he doesn't realize the permanence of the objects that's in front of him.
I have never progressed past the mind of a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga. Milky. What the fuck? Nobody got that.
I know.
We're just doing a bit from Twitter that we saw today that makes no sense out of context.
If you are listening, Wenzel put something invisible in his hand. He ate it and he just chewed on it real quick, like that one scene from Monster House.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Monster House? I guess.
It's a meme of the guy of kind of the heavy set restaurant employee, like snatches something out of the kids and
then running
runs
away.
And that bit being someone tried to like hold, because the whole Roe v. Wade thing is happening on, because like someone's like, this is what
yeah.
a fetus looks like, and then
I was trying to remember, and now I remember there was a picture of somebody holding a itty bitty little fucking thing. I was supposed to be like fetus. It's like, what is this? What is this? Is this human? They didn't say it like that. They were like, this is a person, and then somebody tweets below it with that video of like putting in their mouth like them chewing. Because what the fuck is going on? We're not.
What? How about that? Let's get the Colbert corner over here, boys.
God, because obviously there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. Roe v. Wade was just overturned, and like obviously people should have bodily autonomy. Just flat, okay? People should have control of their bodies.
And that is that pretty much. I think we shouldn't have any say in that.
Yeah, because we can't.
Don't have vaginas.
It's none of the government's fucking business.
And it's so sorry. We probably don't need to remind you. I'm sorry. It sucks shit. But goddamn, Twitter is a hellscape.
There was a straight 3 to 4 days that I hardly got on Twitter.
No, that's why I was saying.
Except unless I was looking for something specifically or our chat.
Yeah, because JoJo told us that they've been staying off Twitter, and obviously, if anybody is like having poor mental health right now because of that, stay off. Because let me tell you, I've been on there, and it's a fucking hellscape. It's so fucking sad.
It is always good to remind yourself to touch grass.
Positively touch grass.
It's like be informed of the world, but also be aware of your mental state, and taking time away, that's not a bad thing. You're not doing a bad thing by taking care of yourself. Yeah. The bad things in the world, they'll still be there. Don't you worry. But just
worry.
Hanging out with your friends, watching TV, having fun. You're not a bad person for doing those things. You still have to live a life outside of the terrible things that are happening in the world. Take care of yourself.
Exactly. And God, it's just mind-boggling.
So obviously we're gonna do the prudent thing, and it's like, if you listen to the show by any length of time, you know where we'll stand on certain things in the world. So that they feel like talk about it a little bit so we can move on to the next thing. Because hopefully we can be a little bit of a bastion of a good time when things look fucking scary and awful. I know we're fucking people too. We have our own things. And we're trying to do this for ourselves as well. This is something to help us get through the fucking rigmarole of reality.
Because
it's just no one else's fucking business except for the person carrying
it's
the
no one
child.
else's business. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I don't want to remind anybody of this shit.
Like everybody knows. So we're just gonna try to get by with a little help from our friends and a little banter to get us through it. The tie-in to last week, Colt Wenzel did a very in-depth review of a lot of the video game news that came out in the month of June. Y'all did a great job on the episode. Although y'all went over my very explicit time limit. What do you have to say for yourselves? Because this is the punishment corner.
Suck my nuts.
I'll die a happy man if you just eat my shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I just spanked Colt Wenzel. But talk about that. How do you think that episode went?
It was a lot of fun. We had to record it over 2 days.
Yeah.
We're making a documentary about it.
Yeah, we're making a doc about it. It was very crazy.
There was a time frame where Wenzel beat the fuck out of me, and we had to stop recording for a whole week.
But then somebody lifted the camera on to capture my emotional, the emotional weight of everything on me as well. So
it was a real JLo and Shakira situation.
Yeah, it was like fucked up. You shouldn't have made me mad. No, sorry. God damn it.
It's actually we're here to talk about in our own separate documentary the abusive relationship that Colt and Wenzel undertake.
Yeah.
If I hear these nuts one more time when I ask a genuine question, I will send a bear through your house.
I will. I will say that hasn't changed. Like that's it. It's just like you shouldn't.
You shouldn't ask questions.
You shouldn't ask questions.
Just don't make any noises towards Wenzel, because if you do, he will talk about his nuts.
Yeah.
I just say.
Buy him the Eddie Kingston Redeem These Nuts shirt was, in hindsight, a bad idea.
Yeah, it was.
It only encouraged that.
It kind of was. I was wearing the shirt while we were recording, actually. So, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was just Pat beforehand told us don't go, try to keep it under 3 hours or at 3. And I told Colt that, and Colt was like, I don't know if we can do that. And I'm just like, what? No way, we could do that. And then we did it, or then we did the first part, and it was like, fuck, we might not be able to do that now.
Because I remembered every past E3 show, it's been almost over or over 3 hours.
And I was looking at the doc, and so when we came up with that, there was we put a lot of games. We put a lot of games, but we put a few games on there just to shit and bit about. And then we kept a few games off. But the thing is there was so much announced or that have been updated that that was just fuck, we got to talk about it. I want to talk about it. And then there's stuff from the past show that we did last year that also had their own updates. And I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'll be able to get to those because like I said, it was I was so ambitious when I came up with this. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do a fucking roundup of everything from January up until June, and then we're gonna update the stuff that we talked about last year, and that's not fucking viable within 3 hours. So yeah, but I'm glad we did what we did. I think we got we talked everything that we had on the dock at least, but we might have to do something later because there's so much shit we didn't talk about.
I'd definitely be interested in y'all doing like a follow up, just like a game intro or just like game recap for like the fall quarter. So I'm just like,
yeah,
because there's going to be a lot that's still going to be come out and announced. So like games will be coming out that
we might just do a quarterly game update show. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll have to think of something because I mean, we still have Annapurna at interactive show at the very end of July. There's games coming out soon-ish because now we're getting into the later half of the year. Mm-hmm. So and like I said, there's still stuff that like had gotten updated since our last show. So
I mean, shit. Right now, the God of War devs are being harassed to hell because a leaked announcement for the release date was June 30th. But now that it was leaked and people started harassing the devs, like, why aren't you announcing that the 30th is going to be the release date, or you're going to announce the release date? And the devs are like, we'll announce it when it's ready. And they were like, what the fuck? Tell me about this fucking game. They're just being shitty people overall. They're contacting Alana Pierce. She is a writer for Sony Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And she was being very harassed. She's always been harassed on the internet. It's pretty fucked. And then Corey Balrog, the God of War 1 director, and he still works on 2, had to step in and say, like, this is pretty fucked up. Shouldn't talk to people like this. And I'm at a point where I think that Sony fanboys, like the super fanboys, are the most toxic people in the video game world at this moment.
And that's saying something because video game fans are known far and wide to be like, this is bad behavior.
You know, it's so funny because I was talking to this cult the other day, people talking about how they don't like a certain thing because of the fandom, the fans. I'm just like, you know, everything fucking sucks because of the fans. So that's really not a good argument.
Yeah, I don't agree with that because I still enjoy the content of something. I just know I hate the fucking fanboys.
Yeah, because like I'm like, gamers, guess what? They fucking suck. Movie bros, guess what? They fucking suck. Anime weebs, they fucking suck. So let me tell you.
And the people that are getting mad about you making those statements are the people that fucking suck.
Yeah.
Because if you know that you don't suck, then it's not about you.
Like, I mean, you're talking about people like the Rick and Morty fans. It's like, yeah, they fucking suck. The people who went to fucking McDonald's and jumped on the fucking counter for Szechuan sauce, yeah, they fucking suck. People who are like toxic shippers for like, you know, anime, it's like, yeah, they fucking suck. That's fucking weird. People who are like super film bro critics who gatekeep like art house films, yeah, they fucking suck. And
vacuums.
Wait, what?
Vacuums suck.
Vacuums do suck. And now video games, you know, gamers, they've always sucked. So yeah, nothing's changed.
It's like obviously you have to put a little bit of separation between the material itself and the people who engage with it in a very hostile way. But, like, obviously, if that's what you see or that's what you've been exposed to, I could see someone having their well poisoned, so to speak. But that's going to be a person-to-person base. Because, like, there's stuff I love. Like, I love Star Wars. I love Steven Universe. All these other shows.
Oh, Star Wars. I forgot to mention about that.
Which, like, you know, a perennial poison well. But, so, like, you have to... It's kind of like what we said earlier. You have to disengage at a certain point to sort of save what you enjoy, or else it's going to be ruined by shitty people. So obviously, if there's something you like that has a very irascible fan base, find a way to enjoy it that's just for yourself or with people who enjoy it in a more positive manner.
Yeah, I engage these nuts.
Got him.
Because I'm a mega Sony. I'm not doing this. I'm a mega Sony fanboy at this point, but I'm not a mega phony.
Yeah,
Sony
capital
fanboy.
EMEGA.
Because I've played almost every single big release since 2010, so I guess I would be a fanboy.
Yeah. Yeah, but that sucks. And yeah, so some news have happened. We'll try to figure that out, but yeah.
We'll be shaking our cheeks a little. We'll be bouncing on our heels.
You couldn't give me a high five for saying engage these nuts.
No, but I'll twerk for fucking video game news, yes.
All right, that's a good compromise. All right.
There's gonna be Wenzel standing with his hands up and Colt shaking his ass furiously. He's just like, when is he gonna bring it down across the ass?
But then when I'm like,
oh, he's nay-naying.
it's Colt's twerking his ass.
Yeah, Colt throwing it back on everybody.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's all I had to say about that.
I guess JoJo and I will get what we've been up to. So as you know, since Colt Wenzel took over the show last time, JoJo and I were away on vacation. We went to a local convention called the Magic City Con, and it was their final year of operation. They were shutting things down, and succinctly, to kind of lead into it, we had a good time at the con. It was a utter shit show, but we had a good time.
Yeah. So some aspects of it almost reached DashCon level of cringe.
Oh, fucking Christ!
The ball pit.
Wait, we were like a hair trigger away from a ball pit. I'm just
Like an empty gymnasium and just like a half inflated ball pit.
But yeah, so we get there.
We get there Thursday night
Because I guess when we went out the previous weekend, me and Pat and some of our other friends got really sick. Like, it was just like a head cold or something, but we were like, fuck. And we were starting to come down from that by the time we got to the con on Thursday. And yeah,
that Thursday night was a little rough for me, especially because congested and sneezing and coughing, just like gross. And then I took some NyQuil and helped out, but I think I am allergic to NyQuil or something because I had a very weird reaction. How I would just wake up and just have like my head would be swimming and like I'd had these really like weird lucid dreams. Like, for instance, I had a dream where I was working for a government facility and they kind of used me as like a scapegoat. Hey, call these people that we're investigating, and then also we're not going to disguise your call, so they're going to find you and kill you. And then like I'm just like, oh, by the way, the cartel is after you. Thanks.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That reminds me, I had a really fucking weird dream too. I'll try to be super quick because so for some reason we had to go infiltrate a base, and by we I mean me, Colt, and Tanner for some fucking reason. So we were like, okay, what's the perfect cover? We decided to go to some guy's like get together to watch a video for some reason. People are there. People from our school are there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So we get there and we're sitting there watching it, and then middle of the fucking video, he's like, all right, we're gonna take a break, whatever. And Tanner doesn't make any sense. Tanner's like, hey, we're gonna go outside and have a smoke. I'm like, we don't fucking smoke. so we go out there to smoke. We don't smoke. We don't have any cigarettes. But for some reason, we go in their backyard. We put on our backpacks. Tanner is wearing dress clothes for some fucking reason. White shirt, dress pants. And he's like, okay, how are we going to... It makes no sense. Our cover is that we're going to go to this house. We're going to sneak out of the house and then drive to this facility instead of just driving straight to the facility. So Tanner and Colt, I should mention, in my dream, they're like, we got to climb the roof. So the only part where there's like a bunch of stacks of boxes and shit, they start to climb it. And I was so fucking aware in my dream. I was like,
sorry.
I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Colt, you have a bad back. Tanner, you have bad knees. And they're like, shut the fuck up. You're going to hear us. So they climb on the fucking roof. But because of all these medical problems they have, they fucking fall off and crash and shit every fucking time. And then at some point, the guy who owns the house comes out and says, hey guys, I don't know what you're doing, but you got 10 minutes. And you guys kept trying to climb the roof. And I woke up because I was mad. Anyway, sorry.
So getting to the show, to the dance itself, was a little like gross and harrowing because we're just like sick and ickly. But Friday started off really well. Everybody's up, ready to go. We go down the con floor, but also it should be known that when JoJo, myself, and our extended friend group go to the convention, it's not so much to see any special celebrity or any of the cool stuff. It's really just an excuse to drink obscene amounts of alcohol at a hotel.
Yeah, it's basically just like a staycation where we get blasted just all weekend. And let me tell you, this bitch right here, I'm pointing at myself, was gone. Was flying high again.
30,000 feet high.
I was just walking through the conflict. There are parts of that weekend that are a little hazy.
One of my favorite bits, because in the moment it was a little scary, but looking back, it's still funny. It's that when JoJo and I went to the mall that's connected to the hotel, we were both functionally inebriated. Like, I was super drunk. I just pounded all these drinks before we went downstairs. JoJo is some form in between.
Okay, so it was that Friday.
Yeah, that was Friday, afternoon, noon.
And friends of the show, Mel and Trey, they were like, here's a 10-pack of these tiny bottles of Fireball, because we know you like it. By the time I'm downstairs, I've had about 6 of them. They're about 1.5, 2 shots each.
So wait a minute. How much pack of Fireball?
10.
10 pack.
10 tiny bottles of Fireball
Tiny
whiskey.
bottles. Okay.
Yeah, they're about like a shot and a half to 2 shots.
Because I was gonna say, if there's like can or like full like glass bottle of those,
no.
I would drink those because Fireball tastes really good to me.
Oh, okay, hell yeah! it's just me, Wenzel, and Tanner.
I like
we're
Fireball.
psychos.
Yeah,
But,
evidently.
but yeah, we go downstairs, and I'm all femmed out. I mean, I'm looking cute. I might even had my cat ears at that point.
Because Joe bought some cat ears.
So I was looking good, and like I had my makeup. I was feeling myself, and then we get stopped by the fucking security guard.
Because like we just got, because like JoJo kind of like grabbed me real close, like, hey, you see that? There's Annie Ann's here. We gotta fucking get some Annie Ann's. Like, and we were just like, just scramble over there like goblins, and we're just like having our little like pretzel dogs in a blanket, and then like the mall cops show up, and it's like, hey guys, not to like say you're in trouble or anything, but our dog was reacting to y'all. Do y'all have like guns on you or something?
What?
Yeah, and me and Pat were both like, we don't have guns. We don't own guns. We all work in the same place. We don't work in a place that has fucking guns. And he fucking like wands us down and shit. And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
What kind of dog whispers? They got a fucking gun. I know they got a gun.
No, I just like to think that like if JoJo had their cat ears on, I just like to think that dog was like.
It's like I'll fight you.
That cat shit. But like, yeah, because like they have like more active like security for like gun stuff now. Which
because let's just say there've been a lot of shootings at that mall.
Yeah, I was gonna.
So like, there's a reasonable amount of security there, but just like one, we're fucking both faded, and then like the cops just like, hey, y'all are kind of suspicious. And I'm just like, because I thought he clocked us for being drunk or some shit.
Yeah,
because that was the thing I was worried about. I was like, oh no, I'm about to go to jail.
No, I was about to say I was worried. I was like, fuck, like
If it was like a drug dog or something.
Like something. This dog was like, oh, you smell those fuckers?
But it was a gun sniffing dog.
No, it was a gun sniffing dog, which is like fucking like.
I guess they can smell the powder.
Powder of what?
And like
powder.
And what about us? Like, especially because we were both like, pretty like.
We were being very alternative that day.
We were feeling very.
I think I may have had my kilt on that day or something.
Oh
yeah. And it's just like, oh yeah.
I take back everything I said. You guys are sus. You guys are the most suspicious characters I've ever seen.
But the thing is, like,
it's like these queers are packed.
Like, you don't even know the half of it, brother. But like, the thing is, what's funny is that there's like all these fucking anime people walking around the mall all weekend. Like, literally, there's like a redneck stops one of us one time. It's like, hey man, I've been seeing anime people all week. What's going on? It's like, there's a con upstairs, dude. It's like, whoa.
Oh my god, that dog. That dog has to be the worst fucking dog ever.
They have that dog. For sure.
Honestly, I'm just saying I think that is the real homophobic dog.
I was about to say, because like that dog, like it's doing a terrible job.
Yeah, it looked at you and said, "I know what you are." That's exactly. What
Yeah,
it
that fucking the little dog is clocking my bitch ass.
The dog is like,
But he's clocking, but he doesn't know what time it is.
I did not realize that the homophobic dog meme became a reality.
like, oh my god, like just like all these fucking weebs are just walking around, and then this dog is just like, yeah, we're in real fucking danger. Like anime. Oh my god.
Anime is a threat to the nuclear family.
Oh, like,
Hey, conservatives probably believe that. So
probably.
Yeah. But God, what?
I remember it's always the same weekend. This con is always the same weekend. That's like a big sports meet. So there's all these like kind of like late high school like athletes are like running by, and they're being little shits.
I was about to say, like they have to be like just
They're like they're just terrorizing the place.
yeah.
And plus this is the last year of the con, so like they're on much meager like resources. So like literally the biggest celebrity guest was like Dog the Bounty Hunter, who canceled, sent his son. His son missed his flight, and then he canceled too. So like literally the next rung down was like the cop from Malignant and like the Russian tracksuit guys from Hawkeye.
okay.
Well, and then there was Darby Allin.
Oh, Darby, he was only there for one day.
Yeah.
The other
He
guys,
went-
they were there all weekend.
yeah.
I will say those tracksuit guys, we saw them a lot all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were cool, but just like that's the level of people they could get for this last year.
Man, I just I don't know. It just still like baffles me that like the idea that like yeah, these people here, this is a problem.
It's like these goddamn weebs.
Like look at all these. Oh my god.
And like Friday was fun. Saturday was kind of devolved because like everybody was trying to do everything, and we just like weren't really synced up with each other. So it was like really kind of unharmonious that way. Not like in a like in like an interpersonal way. Just like nothing was really lining up, and like a lot of the panels and events on the show were just really disorganized. Cannon talked to y'all earlier,
Yeah.
and we mentioned on the show how there was a wrestling panel started 20 minutes late. Only one of the hosts showed up, and then there is a guy who's part of other shows. He was an announcer for a wrestling federation in the town, and he just out of nowhere hops up on stage and like starts to try to hijack this dude's panel. Like, oh, I work as a wrestling announcer. I'm gonna be part of this dude's panel, just like guerrilla warfare. This thing, and it's just like, dude, you're being really disrespectful. I don't care if you work at wrestling. You need to get the fuck off the stage.
This isn't the WWE. We're not making you a storyline.
We're not. There's not. This is not a run-in.
Like nobody's here. What do you plan to gain?
I just picture Cannon just like, I don't know, man.
And he was.
I just picture it's just Cannon in the room with those two people.
Yeah.
Like no one else.
And Cannon's just drunk.
He's just like John Travolta in that one meme, just like, huh? What's happening here?
I think it'd be pretty fun to witness that. I think I'd be laughing like really loud,
Oh yeah.
audibly, so that they knew that
This was ridiculous?
this is stupid. Not the person originally running this thing. I would make fun of the guy audibly, like this guy's so stupid. He's such an idiot.
Get him off the stage. Yeah.
Boo.
I will say that night picked up because they had a pool party, because there's a pool at the hotel, so we go like kind of dip our toes and hang out. And then apparently they had a drag show at the pool.
Oh.
Her name was Kimura Lee Formation. Shout out to Kimura. She was dressed up as Storm, and she was doing her lap around the pool. And she got halfway through her first lap. She's like, "Do these bitches not know how to act around a goddamn drag queen?" And I was the first bitch to tip that queen. And it's like then other people started to figure out what to do.
nice.
I'm like,
Okay.
y'all are pathetic.
I was about to say, like, was there a lot of people at that pool? Like a pool?
Yeah, I mean it was.
It was a small pool, but it got pretty packed out.
Yeah, there was this guy. He was going around the con. He was just like, "Yo, there's gonna be a pool party at 8." You know?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I'm showing the
Yeah.
Nice.
folks what Kimura Lee. She's super cool, and it's like she was turning it out. Like she was doing handstands, she's doing splits, cartwheels, death drops. Like she was turning out for these
Nice.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And I also had some of my favorite pictures. I might have an incentive to investigate sissy boy era Pat because I sold some maid panties and like
Are you going through femboy Pat era? Is that
hey
what's
look
going on?
femboy is really in right now, very lucrative.
What the fanboy Pat?
Femboy Pat. This is our new AYCH brand.
Femboy Pat. Also, if that doesn't work out, I'll also moonlight as Spider Pat.
Oh shit! Whose suit did you steal?
That was Trey's.
Yeah, I borrowed Trey's Spider-Man. Like it's like a Zentai suit, but like it is No Way Home Spider-Man.
Wait, let me see it again.
Is it also like here's a?
It's the one with like the gold.
I was about to say, is it? Oh, okay. So it's his it's the No Way Home. It's his not his advanced suit, but then with the iron spider symbol on it.
Yeah.
It's the red, blue, and gold suit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wore that the last part of Saturday.
Okay.
I just like because like we're the same size. It's like, can I wear your suits? Like yeah, because he swapped into his femboy maid outfit.
Whoa!
Oh my God, is everybody getting femboy?
Is this the femboy era?
Hey, maybe y'all should look into it. Just saying.
Man, we got kilted up Pat. We got Spider Pat. We got Wrestler Pat. And now we have Femboy Pat.
Hey, look, I can make a calendar with all the different Pats. Just come into
Digimon.
Patreon. Watch out.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit! You're gonna be able to sell special photos if
Yep.
you sub to a certain tier. You get the sexy photos.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out.
That's
You might.
excited. You want to sub?
That was very high pitched. I don't know why.
And one last bit. We found about this after we left the con. Apparently, there's a bit of a little bit of drama because there was like a cosplay contest and there's like different categories like best costume, best prop, best XYZ, and then the overall best performer or something. And there was this one girl who had like these big, huge like wings. I remember seeing her throughout the con. They're like
Oh, those look awesome.
Oh, wow.
very elaborate,
Huge.
cosplay, and she won her category, and it's like, okay, cool for her. But then some fucking tea came out. People were dropping receipts. This one person's like, I clocked that bitch, and she actually commissioned those wings, and she didn't make those at all. And then so like there's this yan back and forth in like the public Facebook page for this convention, and then it's some other stuff like the person she allegedly commissioned is like a Ukrainian refugee artist.
What the fuck?
And the artist is like, hey, those are my wings, and you didn't tell me you're going to enter that contest and under your name and not say you bought this because there's like best homemade and best like compiled. And then just like she's like, I have receipts that say otherwise, and just like the fucking deterioration of that story is just like, what the fuck is happening? Of course, this would happen the day this con dies, and it's just like,
Oh yeah.
This was a sinking ship. I don't regret going, but it was such a weird show. But we were drinking and hooting and hollering as this fucking plane was going down.
Oh yeah, it was fun to watch, even though it was sort of weird to describe. It was sort of like waking up on Friday and it's like, wow, I'm ready for this con, ready to start having fun. Oh, Roe v. Wade got overturned. Fuck.
So we're drinking extra hard to forget the bullshit. Because like we're here to have a good time, and then they strategically do this awful shit on a weekend. We're just like,
Like, fuck, man. Did you steal anything? I know that's a crazy question.
Oh fuck, I forgot this.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
He
shit.
did.
I didn't steal anything that I remember. No, but because we were between two rooms, a friend of the show, Ash, where JoJo and I stayed, and Liz, Cannon, Mel, and Trey stayed in the other room. But because we were on the 12th floor, they were on the 14th floor, and the 14th and 15th are kind of like the higher end suites. Apparently, fucking not, because we were much better off on the 12th floor. And the 14th floor, there was like no shit. There was blood on the curtains in their room. there's like blood splats on it.
Yeah, I saw Cannon's TikTok of it, and I was like, where the fuck did y'all stay?
They apparently got the true crime suite because Liz couldn't go to sleep very well that weekend because she kept hearing like weird, like almost like someone was walking around in the room when everyone else was asleep.
Oh, spooky.
So just like some weird just noise and like none of their appliances are really working. It's just like, how is this like the higher end level of suites when everything is better from down?
Does anybody remember the room number for that?
The room number?
For that room, yeah.
1430, I think.
Yeah.
The haunted room.
I was about to say it's haunted.
We have to investigate.
AYCH Ghostbusters October.
Ghost Hunting 4 coming at you. We're going back to the hotel and we're cracking the case.
Yeah.
We'll have a medium. And by medium, we just mean Cody dressed like Sylvia Brown.
And Britney Spears will be there.
We'll bring a
It's also
dog.
Cody dressed
The
like
dog was
Ghost sniffing dog.
Yeah, the dog will just start screaming for no reason.
There's so many fucking ghosts.
We'll have the spirit box with just like has garbled noise and it'll randomly say like a bad word.
We'll have
Naruto.
the we'll have the
What the
cum
fuck?
we'll have the cum detector.
Yep.
Oh, there's so much coming here.
Oh, it's just cum and blood. Yeah. All right.
So and now we are back from con. We have rejuvenated because we are coming down from a wild party we had.
I was about to
last
say,
night.
have you rejuvenated?
Y'all
No.
haven't had much pause at all. Lately.
No, and that is why my ass is hungover right now.
because we keep a very busy social schedule. So I don't think we've had a non-social engagement since the end of May. And every single weekend in July is somebody's birthday celebration in some capacity. Because I'm going
I feel
out.
like this is the busiest y'all have been, and since I've known y'all.
This has definitely been a lot. I mean, obviously we're enjoying ourselves, but
Yeah.
then, being the social house, the social group, as many interactions with it does take its toll. We're definitely like, hey, after July, hitting pause. Something's gotta change a little bit, or at least just no more parties at the house.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we still enjoy ourselves. Definitely didn't have a fucking wild ass party 6 hours ago.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So I think that's a good point to tie it off for right now. We're going to take a break right quick, and we'll be back to you with more banter. Hang tight.
Come on.
All right, here we are back from break, and we're going to get into a little bit of what we've been playing, watching, and doing in specific with our favorite media. Colt, why don't you kick us off?
My name's Colt.
Yeah.
I've been busy. I've been consuming like crazy. Just recently, I'm not gonna go into the details and spoilers for pretty much everything.
No spoilers.
Obi-Wan dies in episode 5.
4.
4, fuck. Anyways, he's dead there.
What?
I watched all of Obi-Wan Kenobi. That show is good. This is the best prequel thing out. I love episode 3, but this beats it. And that's not much of a high bar for episode 1 and 2, but still. It banged, it slanged. Just give it a go if you're a fan of the prequels in any way.
And it's all out right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're a fan of Obi-Wan.
6 episodes. Not all episodes are an hour. Some of them are like 38 to 40 minutes. Very good shit. I watched
Stranger Things?
all Stranger Things, even the stuff that just came out last week. That shit bumping. Crazy as fuck. Check it out, man. Wicked Demons.
I'm halfway through season 4, episode 6, and so that's building up to the end of part 1. I'm just like, oh fuck, and then the last 2 episodes dropped. The 1st of July.
Yeah.
So this will be the 4th when it comes out. So just over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last 2 episodes are 4 hours long total. And
It's so long.
it was worth it, but the last episode was 2.5 hours. I thought it was so close to ending at least 3 different times because it's so stressful, and I was on max alert the entire time, and it went beast mode, easy.
Nice.
Colt, it's just the Metal Gear Solid sirens playing in Colt's head for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, That's the same thing happened with The Boys season 3. I'm telling you, do not sleep on The Boys. It is better than any Marvel TV show, and I am 100% okay with that. It fucks so hard, and I'd argue it's better than every single Marvel movie post Endgame. It's that good.
Damn.
Check
All
out
right.
The Boys, please.
I need to catch up. I've only seen season 1.
Yeah, I remember starting like the first 3 episodes of season 1, like a while ago. Probably when it started, 2019 or ish.
What about you?
Wait, what?
Have you seen any of the boys?
Oh no, I've not seen any. Of
What
Boys.
the fuck? It's good.
Good. It's very
Yeah,
good.
it's good. I've only seen up to season 2 of Stranger Things. So
That's
catch
where
up.
I stopped on that too.
yeah.
Y'all sleeping. Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
No.
Colt, get the fuck off the roof.
I recently just binged the last bit of Dorohedoro. I read it all. That shit is so good. I know everybody here has read the first part, but man, it kicks it up into a place that I did not expect it to kick it. What volume are you at, Pat?
I own up to volume 19. I have finished 17. I still have to read 18 and 19.
Oh.
And what I love about Dorohedoro, other than just like what we mentioned in the last couple of weeks, great kind of horror themed, darker content with a lot of just really light interpersonal character interaction. But like, there's a level of intrigue that I feel like the series could wrap up its plot at any time, but that after a certain point, there's just a huge jump in drama and intrigue that just like, oh fuck, this is like intense and crazy, and then it only escalates from there, and it just like things move so it has such a great pace. Like, it moves quickly, but not like to the point where you feel like you're passing through stuff that matters. It's just like there's a great sort of tension to it.
Yeah, I've read it so much that I had vivid melatonin dreams about Dorohedoro. That shit was good, but also like scary in the dream in the moment because I thought it was real. Got beheaded, and everyone around me was y'all. We're trying to get my head to a place where it can be revived. Because if your head's cut off, as long as you have the head, you can be revived in the Dorohedoro universe by a certain thing you meet in the first 4 volumes. So I was like, guys, just get me to a place to be revived. And the whole time, y'all were just fumbling my fucking head. I kept dropping it over and over and over again. It was like there's a moment in like the later volumes that it was very reminiscent of, and I was like just so pissed off. Like, why can't you hold my fucking head? Just hold it.
No, Colt told me about this dream, and I was just like, that is such like a dream thing to happen for you not to have any sort of like just dropping fucking everything, being so fucking clumsy, and like, yeah.
I mean, I can see that
could
happening. Like, I'm just imagining us all just dressed like monsters, but like we're just like, oh fuck. It's just like heads just rolling around.
At some point, like one of us jokes around, like, "Oh, watch, I'm gonna actually drop your head," but then we actually keep fucking dropping his head, and it's just like, "Fuck, all right, damn."
And Colt's hair is so long now, so it's just all like matted and tangled and like leaves and shits in it.
Okay, at that point though, like, what I would do is I would just tie his hair up and tie it to a belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I also kind of feel like we'd be like kind of fucking around, like we just like kind of like slinging it around like like a nunchuck.
Well, I was about to say too, like, because I recently got reminded that Juju Stroll and Jujutsu Kaisen, where Mahito and Geto are playing, and they play fucking soccer basically with one of the fucking cursed spirits' head.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, it's Dorohedoro. Other manga news is I'm almost got all of Bleach, almost every single bit of it. I've read the first 4 volumes. That shit's good. I didn't realize how good it was. I mean, I watched the anime, but the manga, its pacing and just the way it is, it's very nostalgic for me, at least.
I mean, I have a lot of fond memories of like Bleach when I first started reading, like high school, like the latter part of the 2000s, and like Bleach is very stylish, and I still have fond memories of it. I've definitely burned by the end because I feel like there's a lot of background stuff, like the creator wanted to end the series, but like being contractually obligated to keep it going, so there's a lot of fluctuating quality. Or that's because Jump is very sort of secretive about their behind the scenes. That's largely apocryphal, but on good foundation. So I'm excited to see what Bleach looks like when it comes back as an anime this fall.
Yeah.
Kubo said that there's some plot holes, some stories that he didn't get to actually elaborate on that the anime is going to fix for the story.
Yeah, because there's definitely like some plot threads that just end suddenly in the manga that don't get to be resolved and some pretty like abrupt places. So having like just be like a more definitive finale will definitely be probably help some of the pains I had with how its ending came out.
Yeah, just been a lot of manga collecting, man. I got so many books on comics. I just read the ending of the 2014 Thor, I think. Not the Thor, it was Thor God of Thunder.
The initial Jason Aaron run.
Yes. And that shit was good. The whole Colossus ending, that fucking went hard as shit. And I'm really excited for this Thor movie whenever that drops.
Which will be come out by the end of the week this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just banging. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. I mean, Wenzel and I have been playing video games. We talked about how we beat Elden Ring, I think, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know we keep bringing it up.
It's such a big life moment. It just is.
Yeah.
I'm going to be remembering this time frame through the eyes of Elden Ring because we played it for fucking 4 months.
Yeah.
And we started playing Wonderlands.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
That shit is fun as fuck.
So fun. It's so fucking funny, too. Like, there was... you think it'd be okay to just mention the beanstalk?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a side mission where a beanstalk fucking grows, and you go onto it, and one of the quest people that you help out is I can't remember his name, but he's a reference to Don Quixote.
Yeah, where he thinks there's a clock tower, and he thinks it's a monster, referencing the windmills that.
Yeah.
Tilting at windmills.
Yeah, he thinks the clock tower's a cyclops, and then he's like, "We gotta save the princess." It's a fucking broom. And then as soon as we get done with the quest, we're at the side, like, because the beanstalk grows the town. There's a town. It goes all the way up into the fucking sky, and we're at the side of the edge of the town, and he's like, "I'll see you guys later," and he fucking jumps off the side, and we're thinking, oh shit, maybe it's magical, maybe he's gonna ride off, because he, rides the broomstick like a witch. No, he fucking falls. And then at some point, there's an overworld map where we get to walk around and stuff. You find his fucking body. Jesus. It's so fucking funny. You can loot him too. It's so fucking good. It's a fun time. It's so fucking funny. Oh my god. Wanda Sykes plays one of the characters, Fret. So funny. And then Andy Samberg does the other character. God, they're so good.
It's some of the funniest dialogue in Borderlands. Like, it's less Borderlands fashion, where the older games were like random humor. It's more normal humor now.
It's normal. It plays off video game tropes. It plays off, political issues and everything, normal stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just really fucking funny.
Last night we completed a quest called The Ditcher. It was based on The Witcher.
It was based on the fucking Witcher.
And
my god.
The main guy, his name was Garrett of Trivia.
Garrett.
He was the biggest piece of shit.
He was the biggest fucking dick ever. It was so goddamn funny because at some point the characters Wanda Sykes and Andy Samberg, they're like, "Why'd you make this guy such a dick?" And Tiny Tina, she's the dungeon master, she's like, "Now everybody can be nice, and this guy, it's so funny because every time we do anything, he'd be like, "Oh man, that's remarkable. Oh, I'm sorry, no, I meant, what's the other word? Oh yeah, no, he said it was unparalleled, but he's like, no, that's wrong, sorry, it was unremarkable, you fucking twit." No, he didn't say that, but he kept calling us stupid the entire time.
Like, "You suck, you did that terribly."
He's like, "I wouldn't expect you to know this, so I got to spell it out for you." And he's like, "Now there's 4 of these things. Of course I have to tell you that because obviously you don't know math." Like, he was the biggest fucking dick ever, and it was so funny.
Very satisfying end of the quest too. I'm not gonna spoil that.
Not gonna spoil that. It was so funny. It's so fucking good.
If you like the Borderlands games, give it a check. It's definitely worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we've been playing Fortnite.
We like Fortnite.
We like Fortnite. I guess my turn.
Shoot it.
Oh man, June was a big month for me because I gave myself a challenge of reading 1 book a day for 30 days. So I read 30 books. and I completed my reading challenge, which was 50 books. So I got 51 out of 50. I mean, that was like probably the quickest I've ever completed that challenge. I've never completed it literally half of the fucking year, and last year I only got to 36 out of 50. But yeah, I completed it, and I read so much good shit. It was mostly manga and comics because that's easiest.
Especially if you're doing like a daily reading thing. Like, I can't expect you to knock out like a full novel in a day.
Well, and I will say certain novels that I had already started, I was like halfway through. I finished them, but there were several like novellas, 200 pages. I was able to read some of those, knock those out too. But a lot of them were very short, less than 100 pages. But I read, I caught up, or not caught up. I read like volume 2, volume 3 of Dorohedoro. That's all I'm caught up on so far. I read the first Gideon Falls trade paperback. Fucking awesome. I recommend that. If anybody's ever read House of Leaves, it's kind of like that, but like less of someone's bullshit in the story, because there's somebody in the story of House of Leaves that's so fucking stupid. I hate it, but it's still a 5-star book. So anyway, I read that. I caught up on Department of Truth, like completely. Volume 2 and 3. I read that. Let me tell you, Department of Truth, don't fucking sleep on it. It's so fucking good. So fucking good. Then I think my biggest probably fucking read was I read the prologue, 4 tomes of Vinland Saga.
I told you, Vinland
It's
Saga's
so
peak.
fucking good. I reread the first one because I was like, I want to do a full review of this prologue. And like, I knew that this was the prologue, but I didn't know it says that in there. I was like, fuck, it says it. It's the prologue. These 4 massive fucking books. It's so good. What's his name? The mangaka.
Makoto Yukimura.
Yukimura. Yukimura, dude, like, put so much fucking work into like getting like historical accuracy, fleshing out these characters, the development and everything. I will say that, it's deliberate. Thorfinn, one-dimensional, for good reason. But man, it's so fucking good, and I did not expect it to end the way that it did. The prologue, which I told Colt this, but whenever the prologue ended, I was like, whoa! I was fucking screaming because oh my god, it's so fucking good. The characters, the politics, I guess, if you like the political intrigue, the fucking battles, the philosophy. Like,
if you go into Vinland Saga's first episode, first few chapters, and you see the violence and how gory it can be, it's more than that. It is a very deep story as you get going. The prologue, it can be a little less deep, but it's still very good shit.
There's a really good philosophical discussion between a prince, a character, and one of the Christian monks, and it was really fucking good. I mean, really everything it had to say. And then, Yukimura, he would have little notes here and there about like his own like kind of like self-awareness of what he's writing, and also about like the Vikings themselves, and like not to paint them as like, oh yeah, these are some cool guys. Like, no, they fucking sucked. Like, yeah, they did these things, but they were normal people for the most part. They were just like us, regular humans.
It gives a very nuanced portrait of what Viking culture was like. It's not just like crazy action and battle. It shows like the bad things they did. It shows like the interesting aspects of their philosophy, and just like how he just paints a very full picture of the truths of it. And obviously there's a lot that's heightened for like a manga, because like there was one moment in volume 4 that had me fucking fist pumping like 3 o'clock in the morning. It is so fucking hype.
I was about to say, like, because like everything with like Thorkel was like, okay, all right, let's calm down. But it was fucking awesome.
So like, if you want like a strictly historically accurate, you're not gonna get exactly that, but it's still fucking.
It's still fucking good, because like it like historical, like, it goes into like Britain's history. It goes into the history of the native people of the island, the Isles of Britain. The Vikings,
even back into Roman history.
Yes, I was really surprised by that. I was like, fuck, this is good. Yeah, no, incredible. I had a fucking blast. There was another manga I'm caught up with is Die Dark as well. Die Dark, really fucking good. Don't sleep on it. It's so fucking good. If you like Dorohedoro, there's no fucking way you can hate Die Dark. It's just literally Dorohedoro, but in space.
It's also by Q Hayashida, and she's just like an incredible creator.
Oh yeah, and I would say it's even more funnier because
it's somehow darker, but somehow like lighter at the same time. Like it's definitely more silly.
Oh yeah, it's fucking good. But I won't spoil that or anything. I read the first volume of Boys Run the Riot. That was really fucking cool. It's written. The mangaka is a trans man. It's about a trans boy in school, having to hide that they're trans, having to deal with that. But then also they meet somebody, a new kid, who is like, hey, let's just go start a fucking fashion brand because they're like, we have the same style, like same taste of clothes. Let's go fucking do it. And this trans boy just get caught up in it. It's like, yeah, let's do it because like he's an artist too, and it really works out. It's really good, really wholesome slice of life, pretty fucking funny too. There's a part where the main character Ryu, I think his name's Ryu, but at some point there's a panel where he's just saying fuck you. It's so fucking good. I recommend that. And then I read I finished Dune Messiah. I should say, if you like the first book, go ahead and read Dune Messiah because it continues with Paul's story from the first book. It goes directly into him as an adult. It's really fucking good. The Dune movies that are being made by Villeneuve, Denis Villeneuve.
I think it's Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
I'm having like a brain fart right now.
The best director out there.
But the third film will be based on Dune Messiah.
Yeah, because they want to continue Paul Atreides' story.
Yeah, but it was really good. There's some weird incest stuff in it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was the only thing I had a problem with was like, yeah, my sister danced nakedly.
No, okay, so there's like there's like some stuff because it has to do with like the political weird like old royalty shit, but then there's like also like how Paul describes somebody. I won't say it, even though it's really fucking weird, but it's good. Yeah. It's so good. So I give that highest recommendation. There was actually a book I read, a comic, Samurai Grandpa. It sucked. I'm sorry.
Oh no! It was called what?
Samurai Grandpa. So it was somebody
Call names. Talk shit.
I'm sorry. So Justin was like, so this is last year I bought it. He was like, I think you'd like Samurai Grandpa. So I was like, okay, cool. I bought it and I read it finally, and it was not good. The art, I did not like it. It was rough. It was not my taste per se. It kind of reminds me of like some old boomer shit. I'm sorry. It was really rough. The story, it was just okay. It wasn't the worst thing I ever read, but I'm sorry. It was not good. Anyway, and I read some other books I won't talk about because I want to save that for my Instagram stuff. So if you want to go follow that, go follow my Bookstagram. I'll mention at the end, obviously, if you want to see what I think about that. But I read some really good fucking books, and I watched a few good movies. I watched Virus with my dad on Father's Day. It had some good body horror, but it was about as cheesy as you think it would be. It stars what's her name? She was in Everything Ever All at Once. She was in Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Stars Jamie Lee Curtis. She's good in it, obviously. And then I watched actually a movie I was surprised my dad had was Samurai 1, Musashi Miyamoto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Japanese film about the samurai Miyamoto, and it's the first part of a trilogy. The reason why I say I'm surprised is because my dad literally pulled it out of the shelf. It was an old Criterion DVD. It was one of the first. It was like the spine numbers are 14, 15, and 16. So I was like, when did you get this? He's like, I got it a long time ago. I just never watched it. You want to watch it with me? So we watched the first movie. It was pretty damn good. It was really good. It's really interesting. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah.
People popping off for the Minion movie.
They're loving that shit.
They're really loving
I
that
fucking
shit.
love that one picture of Drew. Was like, they're heading to the Pentagon. Which it was so funny because somebody was like, no, there's no way this doesn't take place. Then they realized like, oh shit, this takes place in the past. Like, fucking dude, come on.
People really are. What is it about that like canary yellow cartoon characters that just trigger something in Boomer's brain?
It's funny as fuck. What are you talking about?
But then
Like Minions, Tweety Bird.
And I feel like there's just a certain type of people. I remember going to Walmart one day, just looking around, and like just random redneck guys like, "Hey man, I've been looking for the new Minion movie or some shit." And it's like I've been trying to like he just struck up a conversation with me out of nowhere about Minions, and like yeah, okay, that's cool, man. And then he kind of walked off.
You look like a Minion enjoyer, okay?
wait, where was this at?
Just at the Skyline Walmart. And
See,
I think he was a young guy, probably maybe about JoJo's age. Like
I guess he thought that he's like, oh yeah, this guy works here.
Or he has autism and he's just sharing his interests.
maybe I don't know. I'll say this: people just be talking to you at Walmart. They'll just start talking to you about any goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
My mom does the same thing. Like, whenever something crazy happens, she's like, and then she'll talk to the person like, that's crazy. And I'm like, you don't have to talk to them.
I don't know. I kind of like that. I think that's fun.
It's fun when you are not with them all the time when it happens.
Yeah. So, we're still recording?
Yeah, we're
Oh,
still
okay.
So I think I don't know if you were finished with your
I was going to
segment.
say, actually, I was going to retract a little bit because there was actually something I did want to talk about. So actually, I just want to talk about, I reread the first 2 volumes of American Vampire, and I read the 3rd volume, but I just like to say it's so fucking funny that the first volume of American Vampire, Stephen King helped write that one.
Okay.
And
It's only with slurs.
there's racial slurs. Like it's one racial slur, but it's like through every fucking issue, and I'm just like. And then I read volume 2 and volume 3, not written by Stephen King. Would you look at that? No slur. Like what? Okay, that's kind of weird. And then I it's just so weird because I see so many people were like, you know, obviously this is one little thing, but like I remember learning about the end part of it, the book, and like how fucked up that is, and I'm just like, man, there's so many people that just love Stephen King, and it's just like. Man, everything's just not painting a good picture for the fucker. And then I saw a fucking young picture of Stephen King when he was younger. Dude had a fucking unibrow. Like, dude looked mad ugly. I'm sorry.
That's what happens when you eat nothing but big hungry man frozen meals and do cocaine.
Yeah, there's been a lot of cocaine, like
especially around
hard
like the
living,
mid '80s,
hard times.
That was like peak cocaine Stephen King. I think he's kind of chilled out now, but
Yeah, I don't think there's been anything in his recent work that's as egregious and as his past stuff. It's like one, I think he's sober now, and 2, like he probably has wisened up to some of his shit, or at least someone's like, hey.
Or he might have went to therapy.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of different reasons. Stephen King, get some help.
Stephen King,
but also
sus.
too that's also like what the fuck.
Yeah, it was so weird because I hadn't read it, so it's been a while since I read it. But I let Colt borrow it before I reread it, and Colt was like, he sent me a message about it. I was like, what? And then he explained it. I was like, oh fuck, that did happen, and it's only in the first volume with the first issues written by Stephen King. That's fucking weird, dude. Sus. I'll say it.
like Stephen King is one of those creators where I feel like if he did not find his thing, he would have been a serial murderer.
Fuck.
And if someone says they like Stephen King, that is a red flag.
That's
Like, you have to be sus
well-
of them. It's not necessarily like if you like Stephen King, you're a bad person. But if you like Stephen King, you have a chance of being a really bad person.
Because there.
I feel like that's
they're
too broad of a thing to
I was
paint.
about to say because
I get where Colt's coming from because you know how there's Disney adults There's Harry Potter adults.
Yeah.
There's also like Stephen King adults.
People who are like obsessively particular about their one fan. Like obviously very prolific writer, but like there are people who are just like they only read Stephen King.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like, please read something else.
Because like no shade on the people who do read it, obviously, because on my Bookstagram there's so many people I follow who have read Stephen King, they love Stephen King, and like I can't say anything because I haven't read any Stephen King.
I like his movies.
I want to read some Stephen King.
Adaptation of his stories.
Maximum Overdrive's great.
Just because I want to have an opinion on him, but at the same time, I'm just like, because of like culture and stuff, I'm just like, hey, I just don't ever want to fucking read anything by him. I'm sorry, I just don't care.
And that's completely valid.
Because like also too, I've seen the movies, so I'm like, I don't know.
You don't really have to read them if you watch them.
Yeah, and as someone who has tried to get into Stephen King and kind of just didn't really vibe with it, like, yeah, it's like, I feel like the movies and the adaptations of his stuff are far more compelling than his actual stories.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of the adaptations of his stuff suck, there's a very small handful.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because they keep trying to adapt certain things. Like they readapted The Mist. They keep trying to do Dark Tower stuff, and it's just like nobody just can seem to get it right. I don't know.
And plus, like everybody's gonna have like their different opinion on what this thing would look like in a new format, and then like all this sort of executive overview of it. So like,
and I mean, the guy's been writing for like a long fucking time, like probably about over 50 years at this point.
Yeah.
So
like
like I mean, there's definitely going to be some stuff that like you, just because of passage of time, would be like, I'm just not.
That's just not. I mean, because like
This
time's
feels
gonna
like
make everything look creaky after a certain point.
And especially with someone who does have the influence that he does, when you see everything that's been influenced by him, when you try to go back to, it's like, oh, this is a little passe.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, obviously, welcome to the Stephen King corner, everybody.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's no fault of his own, except when it is. But.
Give him the blame when he's due, and just enjoy if you do. If you don't, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I wasn't going to talk about it. I was going to try to save it for review, but one of the books, it's like a novella I read that I fucking loved, was this book called Ring Shout. And it's new. I think it came out last year or 2020. It has a cool, sick cover. It's about basically like, I think this is like probably mid like 20th century, early 1900s, where the Ku Klux Klan is in like full fucking like they've garnered like a ton of fucking power because there is an entity has taken an interest in them and has decided to basically like a lot of like the leaders and stuff have decided to like do some dark ass like magic, some mysterious magic, and now they've garnered power. And part of that also too is that they've the movie The Birth of a Nation is like basically they viewed it, but they enchanted it, so now it's also like affected anybody who's watched it. So it follows these three characters. They're part of like a resistance basically to this, and the main character is Maurice, I think that's her name, and it's really fucking cool because they fight like, so there's the Ku Klux Klan, but then there's the Ku Kluxes. The Ku Kluxes are basically like they look to anybody who doesn't have the sight basically to identify them. They just look like regular dudes in like the white robes. But if you have the sight, then they're like these fucking eldritch monstrosities.
They've got eldritch monstrosity racists.
Yeah, basically.
What the fuck?
But it was fucking crazy and cool because like they basically, their whole mission is to stop and kill as many of them as they fucking can. Basically stop this and stop what they're doing because they have big plans, and that's obviously very scary. But the main character, she has this cool power where like she'll just start like, when she wants to summon it, she can, but she'll start hearing this chanting, these drums banging, and she summons a sword that's made of like the thoughts, anger, oppression of all of everybody, like former slaves, African chieftains, kings, and queens, all coming together to make this badass sword that she can like kill these guys with, and it's so fucking cool. It's I can't recommend it enough. It was so short too. I really wanted more, but it was so fucking good. I don't know what more I could say about it because I gotta do a review of it, but it was so fucking good. I really recommend it if you can seek it out. Yeah, and then I read these two graphic novels that I've been wanting to read for a while. One of them is called Stone Fruit. It was really good. Art style is great. It's about a couple, and basically it's like slice of life and them dealing with like their own trauma and their own families, and then like being like kind of like brought together by one of the women, her niece. It's really good.
Stone Fruit JoJo reference. JoJo fans, you'll get that in 8 years when it's animated.
Yeah, Stone Fruit. It's really good. And then there's this other one, Heaven No Hell. It's a collection of this guy, Michael DeForge. He did the art and everything and writing for this of multiple these stories that are fucking like his art is batshit abstract, and it was really fucking crazy. I can't say too much about it, but I want my own copy now of both of these books. And one of the funniest, it's comedy, but it's satire and stuff like that. But one of the stories in there was about an angel describing the different tiers of heaven, and one of the tiers, I think it's a gold tier, where she was like, "This is what you get to go and do in gold tier. You get to fuck Nora's husband." And it's just like this really weird like yeah, you get to fuck Nora's husband as his wife is too drunk, so he sends her home in a taxi, but he stays behind, and you both just fuck, and you get to have them all to yourself. It's kind of tough to explain. Go read it yourself. It's really fucking good. It's like this is the
prospect of having sex with biblical characters really entices you to read this book.
Yeah, it was. It's really fucking funny. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Again, wait for my Bookstagram stuff to come out. Yeah, that's all I got. Sorry to detract a lot.
JoJo, you got something hot, shiny, and new that I think we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Still continuing Dark Souls, and it is dark and a lot of souls because I keep dying.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
You know that one part in Anne Orlando?
Oh, you find Ornstein Smog?
No.
Before that,
with all the archers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, those little fuckers. Grant, I haven't played in probably almost a week.
You can't give up. You gotta keep fighting.
Oh yeah, like I'm going to get back into it, but yeah, it was. Sin's Fortress can get fucked. That's bullshit.
One of the hardest parts of that fucking game. So just be happy it's over with.
And what's so it is like a cool feeling, but also frustrating at the same time about these games. Like, I didn't feel this as bad in Bloodborne, but in Dark Souls, like, the areas are really tiny.
Mm-hmm, they're very tight.
They're very tight, but you go through them so much, they seem so much larger than they actually are. And then once you fucking get it and get past it, it's like, wow, that was literally like 2 rooms.
Every single playthrough after your first playthrough will be quicker, funner, and just easier.
Yeah.
So,
I am basically got the closest thing to Guts' sword from Berserk.
Yeah. The best weapon in all those games. It's my new main. I used to be a Uji Katana, but the Great Sword is where it's at.
Yeah. I love it. I'd been doing the axe, just the basic battle axe, and that was also been really good. Yeah.
It's just been fun to see Joe's process, because the last part I remember them playing is just this suspiciously large open castle area. It's like they're gonna be a big thing and it's gonna suck, but then after a certain point they're like fighting these gigantic knights or suits of armor and like just killing them with 2 hits, just like bop bop, and they're dead. And then it was like, when's the big fucking thing's gonna come out? Because I know there can't be this much room and something not come out.
Yeah, no. Anne Orlando is really interesting because like you'll have these like small like tight like corridors or whatever.
Yeah.
But then because it's basically the city of the fucking gods, it's so fucking big, and like the knights, the giant knights, it's like they're not even the main force. I think they're just like
the sentries,
like guards. But then you have the silver knights, and the silver knights are
fucking dumb.
they're so fucking annoying. Like they're the archers. It's just it's mostly the archers because they have those big ass arrows, and if you get shot or if you're near where it fucking lands, it causes an explosion and it throws you off and you fucking die. And then there's that huge fucking building. I can't remember what it is, but it's like you're in the rafters and you have to be careful.
Oh my god. Like, I was so glad I brought a bow and arrow to those rafters, and like I kind of cheesed it, but I was like, this would be bullshit if you had to do it.
No, that's fair
real.
because I didn't cheesed it originally when I did it, and those guys that are up there, they're painting guardians. They guard a painting, and they're like some nimble motherfuckers. And what sucks,
they throw knives.
They throw knives at you, and they do all these cool like twirls and stuff. But you're on a fucking rafter, so like if you did that, you'd fucking fall off and die. And it's so fucking stressful, and it's so goddamn stupid.
Yeah, some of the roughest things in FromSoft games are they love to put the most bullshit parkour or like balancing shit like in random places. It's super fucking rough. Elden Ring has this one tower where was the most stressful thing in that entire game is trying to figure out where to jump, and you have a better jump mechanic in this game, and it's still fucking stressful.
Yeah.
They like to tickle our balls. Miyazaki, you need to chill the fuck
that reminds me. You're gonna get to this one area. It's the crystal area, basically with Seath. Just gonna go ahead and warn you.
Oh god.
There's invisible bridges
everywhere. You're gonna have to make sure you use your glintstone or whatever the fuck it's called.
You can use your little stones to see where they are, but the only indicator that you could see them is you have to watch closely for where the snow falls. Little bitty snowflake, and if it falls,
oh, that's bullshit.
They'll fall, and they
God.
if you see the snowflake stop, then it's like, okay, this is the invisible bridge, and they stay invisible. There's nothing that can change that. And but if you play online, people leave messages, so they show you the path.
Are you playing online?
I am, but I mean, I've just never been human, so I don't get invaded.
So that's fair.
That's fine. But do you get messages?
But I do still get those orange soapstone messages.
They should get messages because they put down those messages to help people. Thank fucking God.
I will say those things fucking have saved my ass.
Yeah.
So many times.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the fun things about the FromSoft community. It's a lot of people that really genuinely want to help, and then a lot of pieces of shit. It's really cool.
Yeah, mine is like, because like if I had invaders on my ass 24/7, I'd be so fucking pissed. And like you know, we were talking about like areas that are just like so fucking narrow. There's like a room in Sin's Fortress that honestly was my biggest impediment in that entire, like, even the boss I did in 2 tries, but like I think it's the room right before you get to the bonfire in Sin's Fortress.
Yeah.
Where it's just the skinny ass bridge. It's got the pendulum blades.
Yeah.
And then the snake sorceress throwing lightning at you. So you can't like sit still for too long, otherwise you're going to get hit with lightning.
And you get fallen off. Oh fuck.
And if you get knocked off by the pendulum blades, it's just dead. You're dead. Because you fall all the way back to the bottom.
And the thing is the bottom of Sin's Fortress is like a place you can go. Because it's like basically like where all the shit, like sewers and stuff is. And there's shit down there. But they put a fucking Titanite demon. And it's just like, motherfucker, why you gotta do this to me?
You know, actually, you know how many Titanite demons are down there?
4.
Yeah.
Because like I was just... You know, I was still trying to figure out, like, sort of, like, the path to go. And I was just like, you know what? I saw the Titanite demon down there. I'm going to fucking kill it. You know, and I finally, you know, get lucky. I kill the bitch. I'm like, hell yeah. I turn a corner, 2 of them. I'm like, go fuck yourself, game.
And
go fuck yourself.
They're so fucking annoying. I mean, they're cool designs.
Oh, yeah, they're sick as fuck.
But, like,
It's way easier.
You're giving me stress.
If you play online, it's so much easier to play with your friends, but the downside is invasions.
It is invaders.
It's invasions, and I will say for like invading, Anne Orlando is a hot spot, and so
I can see.
And so is there's a area in the forest where every time you enter, because it's a specific covenant, if you enter this part of the forest, it summons somebody to fucking kill you to get out, and it's so fucking stupid.
Oh, is it the area like after you kill the Hydra? If you kill the Hydra. And you go up that ladder.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's just the open woods.
It's the open woods, and there's like
mushrooms,
and then there's like a. I don't know if it's part of the Cat's Covenant, but it's one of the covenants where it's like, it's basically like if you're online, as soon as somebody enters, it summons you, and you have to go kick them out of the woods. Basically, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, because that area has a bunch of NPC fucking people.
Yeah,
and I was. And it's like they're not hard like individually. You're even 2 or 3 at a time. But like as you're like trying to bob and weave and dodge, the fucking tree bitches come out of the ground, and they're easy to deal with. Like everything in the game is like once you kind of deal with everything one-on-one, it's not that bad. But if you get surrounded, you're just fucked. It's like you might as well just give up.
You get mobbed. God.
But but I kind of put Dark Souls down for a little bit because I just said fuck it and picked up DNF Duel, which is apparently based off this MOBA called Dungeon Fighter Online or something. I don't know anything about it, but it's a fighting game, and it's really fun. It basically all the characters are like classes you would play in this game. Like there's like a berserker,
barbarian,
a dragon knight. I'll bring up a list.
I've been seeing a bunch of memes about this game. There was like already mods for like huge feet, big tits.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, there's always someone modding it to have Goku in it. You know, I guess that's a sign of the interest.
Because it's ARCsys, and all their character designs like kind of fit into each other's games.
I mean, I would say the art direction in this game is incredible, and just seeing all the different. There's right now it just came out. There's like what 12 or 16 characters.
16 characters.
16 characters. They all look great. Like my favorite thing is just to see the ults for a lot of these characters. Some of them are so fucking sick.
Yeah, there are a couple that are kind of lame, but most of them are like sick as fuck. But you got the Inquisitor, Berserker, Grappler, Striker, Ranger, Hitman, Dragon Knight, Vanguard, Kenoichi, and the Crusader.
Oh fuck! I remember this now. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's anime as fuck. However, I'm still in Guilty Gear mode, and this game doesn't have like air dash or air block. So like I'm so used to Guilty Gear, like jumping up, like trying to get in behind, and I'm just getting destroyed. But it is, I will say it is a pretty simple game to get into. It's really accessible, and they make most of the combos and everything have a lot easier inputs. Like mostly just like pointing like a direction and a button to do special moves. So like I mean it's like great to like bring out, and like anyone can sort of jump in, but there is a lot of like various mechanics if you wanted to really get good at it.
Yeah.
I tried playing online once, and it was bad. It was real bad.
Because Guilty Gear is a fast-paced game, but DNF Duel is like somehow even faster, and just seeing how JoJo then play at the house and like see like online people play, it's night and day, because like a bitch doesn't have the neural input to keep up with some of these motherfuckers. They're just like, it's insane how fast they're fighting with each other.
And like just some fucking crazy bullshit you can do, just like insane. And I think like one of the people, the developers that worked on this, I think, helped with like one of the like Marvel versus Capcom games. So it kind of has that like very high octane pace. But yeah, it's really sick. I really love all the character designs. Crusader can get fucked though. Fucking that dude is stupid.
He's gonna get nerfed pretty soon, I bet.
I fingers crossed, because I thought Potemkin in Guilty Gear was bad with his fucking backwards mega fist. Just
because Crusader has like this holy shield that he puts in front of you, but he can still hit you while the shield's up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I think it was, I was playing with Eli. I bought it. I was like, hey, let's try this out. And she was playing Crusader, and she threw up a wall behind me, and he has like, he's basically like buff Jesus with a hammer. So he just like takes the hammer, and she literally just was juggling me against this wall, and I couldn't do anything. It was done. I was dead. It was just like.
One of our friends, Jeremy, put it like this: if everyone's broken, then nobody's broken, especially when it comes to like their play style, because they're all just like so wildly over the top with what they're doing, and just like they all have a really just OP functionality to them too.
I've been really wanting to check it out, so maybe sometime I can kick your ass as a Crusader.
Oh, you probably could, because I am like Guilty Gear. I'm pretty all right. I'm like, hell yeah, I can do this game. I'm just like, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not getting online or anything. And everyone, like, except for a few characters, like their normal attacks will reach like halfway across the fucking screen.
Yeah, I saw a video of someone countering an air attack, like a projectile attack, and I thought that doesn't seem possible. It was like a grab counter.
Yeah, and there's like hardly any like invincible frames on fucking special moves now, which I'm really having to get used to, and the hitboxes on the ultimates are weird. Like and especially like one character, Vanguard, he has like this really long like spear pole thing that he like swings around, and he has like stupid reach, but his ultimate, he literally just like stabs the ground, and his fucking like hitbox is just so tiny.
Because I've seen Joe or maybe the AI just like do the bit and just like completely just like not affect the guy standing right next to him too. You have to be on top of the guy to activate Vanguard's ult, but it's fun. It's when, especially like Inquisitor's ult, where she like straps a bitch to a pyre and sets him on fire. It's pretty fucking hard.
Fuck.
And oh man, it is pretty sick. And she can summon like a flaming wheel. Like that's just one of her like regular special moves, and you'll be caught in the wheel as it's going, and it's like a 30 hit combo, and you can just with her like come up with the axe and just start whacking as it's just like
just like if people just take it from full to nothing in like 2 seconds. It's crazy.
But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's pretty light on content right now. Like, I mean, right now it's 16 characters, which is kind of a lot.
To say it's 16 characters, it's a little basic right now.
Well, I'm so used to other games having, these massive rosters, but I think it has a story mode. I haven't tried out yet, but and your various like arcade modes and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't even think it's like a full $60.
No, that's $50.
Yeah.
Dang, cool.
But yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah. Lastly, with me, just holding it down. I've been on some more movies lately. Finally get into some of the films that's been on my watch list. Got to see some kind of like, kind of in the 80s, 90s era. I got to watch Near Dark for the first time. It's just kind of Western vibe vampire movie, kind of this and the Lost Boys kind of reinvigorated like vampire interest in pop culture in the 80s, and it's a fun movie. It's definitely some wild shit. How there's kind of like some emotionally kind of poignant moments that are kind of immediately undercut by a really wild thing, but it's a fun movie. The bar scene in Near Dark is pretty fucking iconic when the vampires attack this hideaway bar and just go sicko mode on all the people inside. I got to watch a 90s toku film, Mechanical Violator Hakaider.
Oh yeah, it's been on my watch list for a little bit.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a pretty simple story. It's, to me, I kind of frame it as, if you view it more as a showcase of the technical prowess and the special effects, that's where it's at its strongest. Because I feel like any given episode of like a Super Sentai or like a Toku show will have like more compelling like narrative or characters, but like it is such a batshit movie when it comes to like the character designs and the element. It's just like this person, I forget the director off the top of my head. Excuse me. It is Keita Amemiya. Crazy, because like literally this android who can take a human form is literally chained inside of a cave, and he's like, it was so badass and so crazy they chained his fucking bike to the ground. And this is basically like a reinterpretation of like this old Showa era of like the 60s and 70s Toku character, created by Shoichiro Ishinomori, who's created several different tokusatsu, so Kamen Rider and so forth. And he has to fight against this fascistic government that dresses itself as in like opulence and like clean and featherly stuff, and he just murks the fuck out of the goons. But you can't tell when some are people and when some are robot, because sometimes he'll punch somebody's head off and like a fluff of feathers will come out, and sometimes he'll jab his hand in somebody's face, just blood is gooping
What a
out.
sound!
That
That was a loud sound, Pat.
I mean, like, you know, that's the Foley work for this movie. It's just, and the final battle is insane. Like, it's definitely one to seek out. It's a lot of fun. I finally saw The Crow after all these years. You know, the classic, the goth classic, The Crow. It's definitely very 90s, very like edgy, edge sword, blah blah blah. But it's fucking fun. Like, it's goofy, but the aesthetic is just so cemented. It's like this industrial, dark, like gothic movie, the ultimate goth power fantasy. It's a lot of fun. It really does feel like a comic book in a movie, like in the best way. And like, you know, RP Brandon Lee, of course, and just to see like his physical stunt, like this is sort of like his swan song, so to speak, and just like all the stuff he did in it. It's super cool. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it, like more than I thought I was going to. Because like there's some movies I watched, like Hakaider, like I liked it, but I definitely kind of saw some of the flaws in it. But like I liked this one despite its flaws, more so than like, not that I didn't like Hakaider, but like there's something about it that really endeared me to it. I might be crow pilled. You might see me in like all crowed out.
I was about to say, are we about to see Crow Pat?
Hey,
Fanboy
look,
to Crow Pat? What the fuck?
Goth Pat?
Spider Pat, Femboy Pat. You know, one more to the list. The multiverse of Pat.
I think it would just be so funny to see Pat on Halloween come in as the fucking crow, face painted, just like it says Crow on the shirt. The Crow.
I got like my mesh like shirt, and but the thing is, I just pull a crow out of the yard and it's just like just screaming and like pecking at people.
It's like, stop him.
I watched a classic movie, Rebel Without a Cause, from 1955. You know, one of the most well-known American movies. I enjoyed it. It's definitely, you know, has like some silly bits in it because, you know, it's from the 50s. So what may be like emotionally gravitas back in the day, it's a little sillier now, but I still enjoyed it. Definitely seeing this movie from examined from a queer perspective definitely colors the film much differently, because like
Yeah.
because James Dean or Jimmy, is that James Dean? I'm fucking.
It's
crazy.
James Dean.
Yeah. While he is sort of like a poster child for like American masculinity, there's like a lot of well-sourced stories that he's was more than likely bisexual, and so like, his portrayal in the movie. And Natalie Wood, she's well known in the film, so I knew about both of them. But the last of the trio, Salmoneo, he plays like the troubled youth that endears himself to James Dean's character, and he was an openly gay actor in the 70s. And what's really sad about it is that all three of them died very young. Obviously, James Dean died when he was 24. This was he had already passed away by the time this movie came out.
Oh.
And Salmoneo talked about how being in this movie kind of helped open up his sexuality because he was actually in love with James Dean when he made the movie.
Oh, wow.
And you can tell from his performance, like, he was very much smitten with him in the movie, which kind of adds to his portrayal. But just looking into his history, because I knew the other two reasonably well, it's because he's like an openly gay actor in the early time in Hollywood, and he unfortunately was killed. Like he was coming home one night, wrong place, wrong time. He was stabbed to death, and it's like this is really harrowing. And Natalie Wood, she was the last one that passed, and she drowned under mysterious circumstances. So like it's really sad. This like very famous movie is like about youth and tragedy, and all of its main stars died tragically young.
Yeah.
So it's still a very solid movie. I enjoyed it, and just sort of the interesting like the American history film aspect of it, and then like the queer lens that this movie is looked at, how a lot of people took this movie, even the actors, like it's like a queer awakening too. So it's an interesting kind of like jumbling point of a lot of different aspects. So I enjoyed it.
Here's a little fun fact about Natalie Wood's death. Not really fun. Christopher Walken was on that boat with her husband at the same time when she mysteriously died.
Because there's a bit like she was a strong swimmer, and then like people like she was found mysteriously dead in her family pond. It's weird. Nobody knows exactly what happened or what there, but it's anyway. Regardless, it's a very tragic. And lastly, I discovered a new podcast called Malevolent. It's a narrative podcast. Basically, these actors tell a story, and it's this long plot. Basically, kind of film noir. It's just a private detective who comes in contact with this eldritch tome, and is stricken blind. But he's possessed by the spirit that was trapped within the book, and the spirit's trying to extricate himself from the detective. But the spirit has control of his eyes. So the detective is trying to figure out how to get the creature out of him and kind of unravel that mystery. But he has to rely on the creature because he can't see anymore. He has to the creature has to tell him what's happening so he knows how to get through the world. And there's like this evolving eldritch conspiracy that involves the entity from the book, and you're trying to discover how this came to be while also trying to stop the growing cosmic horror that's descending upon this town. It's really interesting. What surprised me the most is that there's two main characters, the detective and the entity, and they're both played by the same actor, but their voices sound so differently, and the way that they interact with each other, you think it was two different people. And so it's really interesting. I finished the first season recently, and I'm very intrigued to continue with it.
That sounds cool.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
So I think that's kind of heads and tails of what I've been up to recently.
Cool.
Cool beans.
All right. Well, I think we kind of ran through all what we've been up to lately. We're glad to catch you up to date, and hopefully made your time listening a little bit more fun. Kept keep the doldrums of the world at bay. So thank you all for joining us today, and we hope you join us next time. Be sure to listen wherever podcasts are found. That's SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those places. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe. Helps us out, keeps us visible, puts us in front of new people. We always appreciate you when you do it. Cage of Greatness will be taking a week off this week. But you can look forward to a new episode next time. Be sure to go back and check out our review of Canon's Choice, which is the previous episode where we watched the 1987 movie No Batteries Not Included. A cult classic, much stranger than the wholesome picture Canon remembered from his childhood.
All right.
And lastly, you can follow me, Patrick, on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd at John Lost His Name.
My name Colt. Follow me on Twitter, ColtD00.
Whoa.
Have fun.
I'm Wenzel. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at WenzelWilking. You can follow my art Instagram at World of Wenzel. You can follow my Bookstagram, Wenzel Banters. I'll be talking more about in-depth about the books I've talked about here on there, so please go check that out. I'd really appreciate it. And you can go to my link tree, and my links for there for all my stuff, including my store. Go check that out. Thank you again for listening. Have a good day. Yeah.
And my name is JoJo. You can follow me on Twitter at JONIBI24 and John Unson 12 on Letterboxd.
Sorry, I didn't make it sound like that's where we're cutting it off. I just wanted everybody to have a good day, have a good week, wherever you're listening.
All right, wherever you are, take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Good night.